IFA, I just could give you a quick overview of the new Moto X, I call it now X2. But now the final product is here. We have a little bit more time to compare it to the first Moto X, have a comparison of the features, and at last we will have a closer look to the display, because there are some differences you should know about. We'll have a look through a magnifier. I will show you the differences and what they mean in real life. First of all, of course, it's way bigger. You can see that, and especially you have from 65 now 73 millimeters in width, and especially width is what I'm always telling the thing that's deciding how you find a smartphone, how compact, because this is defining first of all how many spaces your thumb can reach. So this is of course a really big one, and this is mid-class. You have no problems here, but here the thumb is you have to get another grip over here to get in the upper corners. That was way more easy here on the smaller one. And we have a different kind of feeling, because Motorola is doing a great trick, because you have that curved back again over here, but now the edges are small, up to 4.7 millimeters. Here on the first one it was at least 7.2 millimeters. Thickest point here now is 10.2. Here it was 10.8 millimeters. So it's a kind of different feeling because of this very small edges. It's seeming in your palm as if it would be way smaller. But it's a little bit heavier, 144 instead of 133 grams. So nevertheless, even if it's way bigger and a little bit heavier, it's no problem to have it in your palm to give a good feeling. And especially it's kind of another optic, because here we have plastic, and even this surface, this is just like looking as if it would be a thing down below, but it's totally glossy. And here it is, first of all, like giving your fingers a good grip, and especially round about here you have an aluminum frame that's looking very classy. I really like this one. And the other thing is, this frame is giving it a very solid build stability, especially if you're trying to wind your phone, and I'm really using heavy power here at the moment. There's nothing at all you would hear, or where the glass is going down onto the panel, so you see no black dots. So it's extremely stable, just like a brick in the palm. I really love that. Great job what Motorola has done here. Way more classy than the first one. Yeah, and with that, oh no, just something most people will wonder, what the hell will this be down here on the back side? This is something Motorola is calling a circle of flashes, but to be honest, it's just two white LEDs on the right and the left. So it's not like a flash ring, but it's just two LEDs. This is a little bit misunderstanding or misleading. On the other hand, we have two LEDs. Here we have had one, and of course the resolution is a different one. Here we had 10.5 megapixels. Now we have here 12.98 megapixels, and video are now recorded in 4K, 4 times full HD. Here we have full HD. Simply, these are the things over here. And in case of you're asking, what the hell is that? There's no feature, no function, just a thing that shall look great. Okay, here we go. Maybe a resting point for your finger. I do not know. Just nothing down there, in case you should wonder. Yeah, now we come to the features. First of all, of course, you have that old Snapdragon S4. In this one, just 2 cores, 1.7 gigahertz, Adreno 320, 2 GB RAM. Here we have that Snapdragon 801, 4 cores, 2.5 gigahertz, Adreno 330, so way more bigger graphic module, and again 2 GB RAM. So I'm doing a lot of benchmarking, so I'm using 12 benchmarks, making a overall average to have to render out those minor differences that might occur. So in all together, all benchmarks, here we have a result of that's 22% below the average of all smartphones I've tested in the last 12 months. And here on the new X2, the processor is 41% above. 22 below, 41 above, so way quicker and better. So this is upper league. This is result that you would find, for example, on a Sony Xperia Z3. But on the other hand, this is a totally different price league. Here we have the recommended retail price of 349 euros. This is starting off 529 euros, at least here in Germany. And that's the small version, the 16 gigabyte version, leaving net memory 9.5 gigabyte. And in case you should have a little bit more money, I would suggest to go with the big one, because again, you cannot expand the memory. And the 32 gigabyte version, leaving net round about 25 gigabyte net memory, is a recommended retail price of 579 euros. Street prices in the web at the moment, 500 or 550 here in German Europe. Your prices in your country, I do not know, I'm sorry, but that might be kind of the same one. Yeah, and now we come to the display and have a look through the magnifier, because this is totally different, not only from the sizes. By the way, this is a diagonal of 4.65 inches, and here we have now 4.65 versus 5.2 inches. So it's 25% bigger in area. And we have especially now not 720p, now we have full HD, meaning a resolution of 1080 by 1920 pixels. And that's bringing a PPI, a pixel density of 425 PPI. Here we have 316. So this seems to be totally different, way more sharper, at least in theory. But first of all, you should know both are AMOLED displays, but there is something you should have seen, and I'm going onto a white background so that you can have a look through this one. This is a digital, it's going a little bit closer, but it's better to see. Here we go. This is let me take this one. This is the first one, the first Moto X, and you see here you have that, it's called RGB AMOLED matrix, because as you can see here, all the red, green and blue subpixels are kind of like a stripe and very regular positioned. And here on the new one, this is looking like that. And you might know that, for example, from the Samsung Galaxy S5. This is called diamond matrix, meaning you have smaller subpixels, all kind of like a diamond form, and especially you have that different order structure of this one. So this is making a little difference, and I will show you this. Not on this one, but on this photo over here. And for this one, I'm using my glass magnifier, because you have that one would be a little bit too big from the resolution factor. Now I'm going same size. Okay, now we will have a look first on the new. This is the X2, and please have a look on this structure in the center, and have a look onto the tiny rings in the middle, and now compare it to the first Moto X. So you can see here, especially on this side, on the very small rings, there are blurring way sooner than on this one. So Here it's a little bit more sharper on the right side, the very tiny rings here. So this is something you could say, okay, here I'm seeing a kind of a difference of sharpness. But this is a testing photo and not a real life photo. So that's why I searched for this photo, real life photo, bringing again same size. And if you want now, for example, have a look on these structures here, at least for me here in nature, sitting in front of both, I can't see a difference what's concerning this. And now let's have again a look onto these tiny structures on the bridge here on the flags, and now compare this here to this one. There might be something you would say, okay, here on the upper one, on the new X, I can see a little bit more details on the flag and some of the structures in the middle of this one, but it's really you have to look very carefully, and the details have to be very tiny. Then you see something a little bit more, but just through a magnifier, and you have to look very closely. So I wouldn't lay my buying decision onto these very small differences here. So this is nothing you should be afraid of, let's call it like that. If you're hearing, oh, just 425 ppi here, just 316 here. In case you should like the Moto X because of its smaller display and its more handy form, and I'm quite sure this one will be or get a little bit cheaper in the next weeks and month now that the X2 is available, then you could without any problem go with this one. And last of all, I wanted to show you some differences between those concerning the software features. First of all, I really liked this over here that's called info screen. There on this AMOLED screen you can do this because these tiny texts are just using almost no power, and everything what's black is using no power at all. So here we have had that it's coming up in a frequency, and here now it's like just go or near the screen with your palm, and then this will be activated. Again, it's just using almost no power because everything here is consuming no power, just these tiny textures over here. And especially you can now unlock your phone just going like this. So you do not need to search for your on-off standby button right here in the side down there. Just going like this, and no, here we go. I really like that, almost as much like that double tap feature from HTC and LG and Windows phones. This is because you just can use your hand, but you do not have that lock code features on here, but it's better than nothing. And there is something new, especially concerning let me go to the settings. It's called Moto. So here you have, it's looking a little bit more fresh, and you have new features what you can do on your actions when your device will go to sleep, waking up, doing something. Whatever you will have here, you have now more freedom to program here your actions. And of course, you have more power with your voice commands. Now, for example, now you do not have to use the phrase, okay, Google now, like on the first one. Now you can say whatever you want, program in here like, hey babe, or whatever you want. And especially the phone is trying to learn your voice and is not listening to other voices, so not third persons can use your phone where they want it. I couldn't try out at the moment here because I didn't have that time at the moment, and no other speakers, especially here in the studio, so I couldn't test how this one is working, but it sounds at least quite interesting. These are the features I just wanted to present you in advance. So you just, if you do not like this hand covering here, you can of course deactivate that and way more. Yeah, this is just a quick overview of the features of the X2. There's way more in the depth, but I can't get that in this video, or we would do a 1 hour video here at the moment. I hope this is enough for a quick first impression for you. Thanks for watching. Please be so kind to recommend my channel, to subscribe to it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.